Hello everyone and welcome back to another TSW2 in-depth rail review video. In today's video we will be talking about the high-speed 1 section of the Southeastern High-Speed route. Before we get into things, I'm going to ask all of you to like the video if you enjoy it and subscribe to the channel for more content. Also consider becoming a channel member with the link in the description. Let's get into it. High-Speed 1 is a high-speed line stretching from the Channel Tunnel, also known as the Eurotunnel, to London, specifically the London St Pancras International Station. The line is legally known as the Channel Tunnel Rail Link, or CTRL, which is also one of the safety systems that can be found inside of the Class 395. The line has 4 stations: Ashford International, Ebbsfleet International, Stratford International, and London St Pancras International. At the Ebbsfleet International Station, the line splits in half. One branch runs straight down to the Ashford International Station via the High-Speed 1 line, and the other connects with the Southeastern Main Line and eventually the Chatham Main Line and runs in a circle along the eastern coast of England before veering west again and connecting with the HS1 line at Ashford International. The line is enabled for speeds of up to 300 km per hour and runs for over 67 miles. It is fully grade separated and has no railroad crossings along its length. In the early 1970s, plans were conceived by British Rail for a route that crossed the English Channel into mainland Europe. The plans met opposition by multiple groups and people, and the plans were announced to be cancelled shortly after their creation. The next plan involved a tunnel into London from the southeast and an underground terminal station near the King's Cross station. A change was made to the original plans by the then Deputy Prime Minister, Michael Heseltine, to reformulate the routing of the line and for it to approach from the direct east, accessing the underused London St Pancras International platforms via the North London line. The plans to use the North London line were rejected in 1994, proving too difficult to construct, and it would have been environmentally damaging. The idea to use St Pancras International as the terminus was retained, with 12 miles of tunnels built between the station and Dagenham. LCR, also known as London and Continental Railways, was chosen to build the entire line and to reconstruct the St Pancras station to support the new safety systems. In late 2006, the High-Speed 1 designation for the line was adopted. However, trackside signs and official documentation still refer to the line as CTRL. The full line opened on November 14, 2006, cutting journey times from London to Paris to just 2 hours and shortening many other journeys. The line carries both international and domestic trains, with the 2 train operators, Southeastern and Eurostar, operating services up and down the line. The line also sees freight traffic operated by DB Cargo UK with its special Class 92 locomotives. The Southeastern services stop at all stations along the line, while the Eurostar services skip a station, namely Stratford International. This is due to Eurostar claiming its business would be hit by stopping trains there. I find it very odd that the station has International in its name, yet sees no international trains, but hey, Eurostar thinks it's unnecessary. During the pandemic, Eurostar services skip Ebbsfleet International and Ashford International. This is due to Eurostar wanting to focus on their busiest city center stations. The line was originally built with the capacity to handle 8 trains per hour running through the Channel Tunnel. However, to this day, the Channel Tunnel operates at only 2 to 3 trains per hour in each direction, with these trains only being services operated by Eurostar. The actual HS1 section between Ebbsfleet and Ashford sees about 5 trains per hour, 2 Southeastern and 3 Eurostar, while the section between Ebbsfleet and London sees about 10 to 11 trains per hour during peak times, with about 8 Southeastern and 3 Eurostar. It was originally planned to have more train operators than just Eurostar and Southeastern operating services along the line. Others include Deutsche Bahn, Renfe, and even Getlink. Originally, DB wasn't able to operate services along HS1 due to the strict fire safety regulations that were put in place by the owners of the Channel Tunnel. LCR suggested that international ICE services between London and Cologne could start running before the 2012 Olympics. Unfortunately, this was not possible due to the ICE-3 not meeting the fire safety requirements for passenger services through the tunnel. One ICE-3 train did make it all the way to St. Pancras and was displayed there. They also ran multiple tests and evacuation trials in the Channel Tunnel in 2010, but even after that, the trains were not allowed to operate. In 2008, Deutsche Bahn signed an order for 15 Siemens Velaro D, or Class 407 train sets. They were planned to enter service in December of 2011, however, due to a series of delays in the manufacturing and licensing of the trains, none of them were in service until 2 years later in December of 2013. Deutsche Bahn was authorized clearance to operate the train sets along the HS1 line, with the units having the necessary additional fireproofing to operate through the tunnel. DB was planning multiple services, such as London to Frankfurt, London to Rotterdam, and London to Amsterdam. However, none have come to fruition. Deutsche Bahn announced in 2017 that a London to Frankfurt service could begin as early as 2020. However, they've shelved the plans due to a quote-unquote significantly changed economic environment. Spanish railway operator Renfe announced in 2009 that it was interested in operating some services from Spain to London via Paris, Lyon, and other cities once its AVE, or Spanish High-Speed network, was connected to France. However, that was finished in 2013 and no plans have been talked about since then. Getlink currently operates some freight services along with hosting Eurostar services through the Channel Tunnel. It was reported that they want to set up an Ouigo style budget high-speed service between London and Paris to compete with Eurostar. The High-Speed 1 line had a very interesting past and possibly has a very interesting future, with the possibility of operators such as Deutsche Bahn operating services along it. This line is the UK's only real high-speed line, and by real, I'm referencing the fact that every other train is capped at 125 miles per hour. That is set to change in the near future, however, as another high-speed line, known as HS2, is under construction and is set to be open between the mid-2020s and the early 2030s. There have been multiple proposals for a link between the HS1 and HS2 lines, although the link was removed from the project to save upwards of £700 million. If you would like to see more in-depth videos like this in the future, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. Also, if you would like to support the channel out even more, become a channel member. The link will be in the description down below. Peace.